Today I'd like to talk about the first reading and the gospel. The first reading speaks of a group of 7 brothers who suffered greatly, were persecuted, and died, but they weren't afraid of death or suffering, and they said it's because they believed in the resurrection. Similarly, in today's gospel, Jesus tells us, yes, the people that die will be risen from the dead. Now, what does this resurrection mean when he says that? Well, all Catholic people, as well as other Christian denominations, pray the creed of our faith. And one line says that we believe in the resurrection of the dead. And what that means is that all people have died, no matter when up until now, that all will be resurrected and full-bodied. Just like what happened to Jesus. He died, was buried, and rose again. And he coming to save us, but also, and save us from sin, but also to give us life again and to raise us from the dead. We don't know when that will happen, but when the end of the world comes, Jesus will come again and he will raise all the dead. And then he will judge us. And then we will have life everlasting with our full bodies. So that means death is really but a temporary thing. It doesn't matter that our bodies wither and rot away. We will be raised again full-bodied. That's what we believe. And for a long time, the Catholic Church did not allow cremation. And they didn't allow it because they believed that the whole body needed to rest and wait to be resurrected. And of course, I think it was about 30 years ago or so, the Catholic Church started to permit cremation because they understood that it was so costly for people to be buried, okay, and to purchase plots of land. So they agreed that cremation was okay as long as the ashes were put in an urn and buried right away, and not put on a shelf somewhere or strewn all over the ground somewhere, or divided up and given amongst several family members, that the ashes needed to be buried in an urn right away, or in a mausoleum, which is fine. And they did this because, or they say this because it reminds us of our belief that when we die, whether our body is fully buried or whether our ashes are buried, that we will rise again. Every time I happen to pass by a cemetery, I look and I think about, wow, all those people that are laying there, or even the ones that just have the ashes buried, will rise again one day when Jesus comes to raise us from the dead. And also, I pray for them, all of those who have died, and ask God to please have mercy on them and to judge them mercifully for their sin and to welcome them into everlasting life in heaven. So during the month of November, as Catholics, we pray for people who have passed. So if you're driving past a cemetery, pray for those who have died and pray for God to have mercy on them. Thank you, and God bless you.